from yesterday on how to take and mess with your photos. I want you to think about 5 steps that we're going to go through. First, you want to eliminate all the blurry images. So if you have an image like this one right here, you might want to just go ahead and delete it. Uh, Start with a big number of photos. And so I would just remove it, control click on it, or right click, and you could say remove photo, and just delete it from disk. You don't even want it because it's a blurred image, okay? So I'm going to say delete from disk for right now. And let's focus on this one right here. The second thing you want to do is control the cropping. There's a lot in this picture that doesn't really need to be in there. So how do you crop? And that's what we want to talk about today. If we're in develop, if we click develop right here, it takes a second to go over to the develop side, but we're going to focus on cropping. And I don't think I've told you how to crop, but the cropping command is under develop, and it's right here, right there. And I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to make sure it's unclicked here so I can freely move it, and I'm going to say custom. Now as I click and move this in, I might put that over to the side. And the reason I might put that over to the side, I'm going to hit return real quick, is because this makes it informally balanced, weighted heavy to one side, and that makes it a visually interesting photograph. I could just crop directly on the berry, but I like it the way it is right here. Now we've cropped. The next thing is to look at the exposure. That might require you going back to the library button. I'm going to click that real quick. And I could hit auto tone, and let's see what that does. Ooh, that really kind of washed out the image. I'm going to hit Command Z to undo that. And I might bump it up one step, maybe just about right there. Maybe I might bump up the vibrance a little. See, now that it's a little too bright. You don't want to lose your sharpness. So that's too dull. So the next thing, but the exposure is what you're trying to get. So that's that. And the last thing you want to do is color correction. And we haven't really touched base with this. I haven't gotten you there yet. But let's go ahead and look at develop real quick. Now the colors are all over here. Say for instance you want to make this a black and white. You can click right here on black and white, and that instantly brings it to a black and white. And the cool part about this is not only after it's a black and white, you can adjust the colors. I can make that berry real dark because that's a red. I can make yellows pop down a little or maybe up a little. Don't go too extreme here. Just try to get some good contrast going on. Okay. By the way, that blue that's right there, that's not going to show up in the photo when it's done, but if it does, I'm going to pull it back just a little. So now that looks like a pretty good black and white. Say, for instance, I want to copy that and still have it as a color, too. I can control-click on the picture and say, create a visual copy. Now, I can go back to the second shot, and let's go to it. We can click this little icon down here. And there's the second shot, and I can put that one back in color. So I have one in black and white and one in color. Alright, see how your photographs look in black and white and color. Some pictures actually turn out, even though they're full of color, they look just as good in black and white. So play around with these buttons over here very delicately. If you're going to click one, you can click and drag it, or you can press the up and down arrow, and that will give you some better commands. Make sure you're in the box though. You can bump it down. Alright, so we have, as a checklist, we're going to trash the blurred images. Step 1, crop the crop and focus on informal balance, or rule of thirds, dividing your picture into thirds. 3, exposure, is it correctly exposed? And 4, color correction. And that's what we're going to do. We're all working towards the first project grade, which is the 10 to 15 photos in a slideshow. All right, signing off.